All right, it is the morning after. And, one question that's been running through my head, and got this one a few times on Twitter from the people, or X now, I guess, from the people who want to talk about something else than Trey Lance and the quarterback situation, which is refreshing because it seems that that's just being hammered to death. But should the 49ers be worried about Jake Moody, their rookie kicker who missed those two field goals, one from 40 and one from 58 yards yesterday? Because that was a little weird. Moody has just been drilling everything in practice. I mean, from 60, I think we've seen one from 63 from Jake Moody. He's clearing the crossbar with plenty to spare on medium range field goals. By plenty, I mean like by 20 yards sometimes. I mean, he's been the real deal in practice, but as we know, game adrenaline can change some things. And yesterday, apparently it did. Now, Josh McDaniels didn't make the 49ers all too happy by icing Jake Moody on both of his attempts. Both times he iced him on 40 and on 58 yards in a preseason game. So McDaniels is a little bit of a villain here in that he sees the 49ers spent the third round pick on a kicker, and he knows that maybe those initial kicks might be critical to building a kicker's confidence at the NFL level. And McDaniels is the coach on the other side, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna be a jerk. I was trying to find a nice word. I'm gonna ice this guy. Let's see what happens. Might be a little shaky just early on as he's building his confidence, and it worked twice against Jake Moody. Now, so the question is, should the 49ers be worried? Well, if he keeps on missing next week against Denver, yeah, I think there'd be some concern building. But the 49ers also entered this knowing that there's an inherent risk of moving to a rookie kicker. I mean, there's Robert Aguayo, right? A few years ago was a third-round kicker. He flamed out of the NFL. You never know how somebody's going to handle that psychological transition to the league. And so because the 49ers knew that there was this risk, they made sure to trade for Zane Gonzalez. I remember that when they did that, I was actually here. I was actually in Vegas. I was down on the Strip. I was at my bachelor party. I had to go and make a video in the casino over there in the hallway, and you guys were like, go back to your bachelor party. Anyway, I digress. The 49ers have two kickers, though. They have an insurance policy in Zane Gonzalez just in case stuff goes completely sideways with Jake Moody. They don't expect that to happen. And if it doesn't, then it's great for the 49ers because Zane Gonzalez is expendable. He's an asset. They can get a pick for him, right? So the hope is that everything continues according to plan. I think Jake Moody, we talked to him yesterday. He believes yesterday was a hiccup. He thinks, it happens. He's missed kicks before, happened to miss two of them in his NFL preseason opener. He thinks that he can get over it, and he'll have a chance to on Saturday against Denver. So this is one of those things where fans are going to be restless, but you just got to give it time. And regardless of whichever way this goes, the 49ers have tried to insulate themselves with insurance here. They didn't hold on to Robbie Gould. That obviously might have been the safest play, but there were also dangers there because Robbie was advancing in age, the injuries, all that. At some point, the 49ers had to move on, and they thought that the financial situation, because they needed to save some money with a rookie, made most sense this year, and that's what they ended up doing. So Jake Moody, one of the list, one of the guys who committed some errors, right? There are many of them in the 49ers game here yesterday in Vegas. We'll be heading out to the Bay Area for practice today, but we're going to be here in Vegas for most of the day. So we'll be producing some content. Make sure you tune in. Good morning from Vegas. This is our last day here. It's been a while, so excited to get back to the Bay as the 49ers turn their attention to week 2 of the preseason and the Denver Broncos.
Go out there and nail it. Just kind of wash away the first one. First one felt good. It just happens. I'm glad it happened now. There's a lot to learn from it. Watch the tape, stuff like that, and just move on to the next one.
Were you surprised that you seemed to get iced on your first 2 NFL kicks?
Yeah, that's like I said, it's something to learn from. We're just gonna see if we can go through like a different routine, I guess, to deal with the extra time, I guess, in between the kick. But it's a lot of good learning experiences for the first game. I'll just go from there.
You said you separate the short memory as a kicker. How long will this take? Just kind of wash away.
It's already washed away. Like, I was hoping we had one more just so I could, kind of prove that, those were flukes, and that's not, normal, I guess. So I wanted one more just to, kind of feel better, but, I guess just have to wait till next week.
Was it partially jitters, first time out there, or just
No,
didn't hit it right?
felt very calm out there, just another game. Like, especially for kicking, there's not much that changes from college to the NFL besides the hash marks getting closer. So, just felt great. Got good snaps and good holds all day. So it's just something to learn from and just get better.
It got off to a rough start for everybody. 3 and outs for the whole offense the first 3 times. So I don't put that all on Trey by any means. The whole offense was sloppy to start. Thought he had a real good second drive, leading there on the score. Made a hell of a play on the touchdown. I know it was almost a hell of a play for them with the pick, but that was the last guy on a bootleg. It flashed and he put it on him, and that guy came in and tipped and made a good play. But fortunately, Dwelly was there. Wish we got that short yardage so we could finish that drive. It was hard to not put him in the third.
The touchdown, it looked like, I guess people would say, well, not a good play because it should have been a pick, but you're saying that was his last read?
Yeah, there was an open hole, and it was nice that he saw it, flipped and went for it. I'm glad he tried to rip it, and it was a tight window. Could put a little bit more in front of him, but the guy came and made a good play on it, and it ended up working out for us.
How difficult is it to evaluate Trey Lance when he's under that kind of pressure?
It's all the same. There's pressure in these games, and that's how they are, so I always take all that into account.
Okay. 20 dropbacks for Lance, 7 handoffs. It's a little uncharacteristic for your style of play calling. Was that the plan coming in, or how did it unfold like that?
When you go 3 and out, unless you're running it 3 times in a row, the numbers will get skewed. So you're always throwing on the third down for the most part. So I think it got like that, and it's just usually when you don't play a game, it doesn't balance out. So it's kind of just how it went. It wasn't the plan.
What did you see from your young wide receiver group out there?
I thought they did a good job. We set a number of guys, and so we want to put some pressure on those guys, play them a little bit more than you do in a preseason game, especially Ronnie Bell, Tate Martin getting all that playing time. Thought they did a good job. Tate made it, thought almost a hell of a play, didn't get his feet in bounds, and thought Ronnie did some really good things in the return game, had that good jet sweep, made some good passes. His best route was the one he served up to him on the pick, so that was unfortunate, but I thought those guys did show some good things.
Kyle, you said you care more about the joint workouts than the preseason game. So overall, how would you sum up the trip counting the joint workouts?
We've got 2 good practices against them. I always like it when you can do that, and we practiced real hard the second day, especially with all the ones. So that's always good, so we don't have to dress any of them today. And I didn't enjoy that game by any means today, but a lot of guys got a lot of valuable reps, and gives them a chance to make our team, and gives them a chance for us to coach them up tomorrow.
How was Sam today in terms of getting the play in and just all the logistical stuff his first time through?
Yeah, he was great. All 3 of them in terms of getting the play in and getting us in and out of the huddle. There was no issues at all.
Did you feel like they were going through the reads appropriately, or is that hard to tell at this point?
No, it seemed like it. We didn't have a very good run game. Had a couple drops. Had a few sacks. We just didn't play well as a whole. But there was no. I don't think there was many big mistakes on misread or anything.
Did Sam seem to play pretty well controlled in his debut, kind of his ability to run the offense and not get too flustered?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. Coming in the second half, and you're in there with 2/3s on the whole line. Same with the receivers and everything. So we wanted to be careful with Sam for that reason, but we also wanted him to play too. So it was nice to be able to get Trey the whole first half, get Sam a little bit, and hopefully Sam will get a little bit more time next week.
Are you concerned about the kicker position, or was that rookie nerves?
I'm not. It's unfortunate because I know the pressure on him and everyone's looking, and I know he missed those 2 today, but he's been great in practice. He's hit them all. I was just excited to attempt a long one, which was fun, but until it was missed. But he's been great. He handles himself well, so no issues here with me.
We'll take 3 more.
You had 2 4th downs when you didn't kick the field goals. You just want the offense to stay in the field, see if they can continue to drive, or was it tied to Moody at all?
No, they're both 4th and 1s, and you know, the first one I think was 3rd and 6, and I told the offense, you guys got 2 plays here, and that it was frustrating. I wanted us to finish that drive and get more reps for the guys, especially the quarterback, and we didn't convert on that 4th and 1.
Were you surprised the kicker was iced with 14 minutes left in the 4th quarter of the preseason game?
Yeah, I was assuming that maybe he wasn't. Maybe something else happened. But yeah, we're trying to get out of here too. So I want to go back home. We've been here too long.
Kyle, sorry if you've already been asked this, but what did you make of Ambry Thomas's performance?
I thought he did a good job. You know, I think Ambry, starting off in OTAs and all the way to training camp, he's come back a different player than he was last year, and it looked like that from the sidelines. I thought he flew around, made a couple tackles, and I'm excited to watch him on the plane when I see the film.
Obviously, Trey was not helped by the offensive line. He was off during his life, but I mean, were there? I'm sure you have to look at it, but were there opportunities where there were quicker decisions he could have made?
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's always the case. I mean, for anybody in this league, you know, there's a bunch of sacks. The line gets blamed too much. It's always usually there in the middle. There's places we get people out, and I mean, in our room, we're always hard on quarterbacks. You know, you try to look through every way possible on how to not take the sack, and but you don't just avoid those by throwing picks and stuff too. So we'll look at it, we'll see what his chances were being able to get those off. But I thought a couple he definitely couldn't, and a couple he probably could have.